Now let's get this started. That was really dramatic. Why am I like this? I'm not even a dramatic person. No. Alright, seriously, let's get started. Start by lightly drawing the head in a slightly oval shape. Add the ears and draw in subtle curved lines that indicate the cheekbones and chin. Then add the neck, collarbone, and spine to establish balance in the body's pose. This is called a high hip, low shoulder pose. And always keep in mind that whichever hip is high, meaning tilting upwards, the shoulder on the same side should be tilting low towards the high hip. And of course, the opposite shoulder should be raised to establish the proper balance and alignment in the pose. Now, it's always a good idea to have the outfit in mind before you start drawing, and that also kind of helps to establish what pose you're going to use. I've decided to do a cute puff sleeve, French terry crop top, and jersey bodycon skirt for her. Now I'm drawing the gathers and folds to show the behavior of the fabric. And I think I'm going to give her a name. I always love to give my illustrations a name. I have a theory that it kind of adds like personality to it. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think I'm going to call her Robyn. That's a cute name for her. So now that I'm satisfied with this pose, I'm starting to add in more details and literally mold the outfit around her body, making sure that the fabric is going in the correct direction based on the way she is posed. If you also notice, I'm starting to erase some unwanted marks. Some of those marks are basically the foundation marks of the body's pose, which I can now erase because now I have the basic foundation and direction of her body in the correct positions. Now I'm just darkening some of the lines because I'm also prepping myself for when it's time to fill in the body with color. So here I'm erasing out more of the foundation lines because I'm prepping myself to add color. So you want it to be nice and clean in those areas and you don't want the foundation lines showing through. Unless you do, I mean, that's your business. So this skirt has side seam pockets, so our hands are positioned in the pockets. I thought that was just a cute pose, and also I low-key did it on purpose because drawing hands is not my strength. So that's something that I actually need to work on. Sometimes I hit it, and then sometimes it's a miss. In this case, I kind of sensed it was going to be a miss, so I just went ahead and put her hands in her pocket, and I also just thought it would be cute for this pose. As you can see, I am still detailing out some of the fabric folds. Now I'm moving on to the facial details, adding in her hair, her eyes and eyebrows. I love drawing a nice, beautiful arched brow. That's kind of where I start to kind of frame the face. Then I start building up the hairstyles. You can see here, this is just going to be a cute, short look for her. And of course, accessories. I love earrings and jewelry. Anybody who knows me knows that I love jewelry. So she's doing a cute dangle earring, a little tassel, or danglers is what I like to call them. Now I'm adding in her eyes. The eyes are just my favorite part to draw because it really helps to establish the face along with the eyebrows. Now, just a quick tip when you are drawing the eyes, always make sure that the eyes line up with the tops of your ears to really help to establish the proper proportion. And then everything else, like the lips and the nose, should be easy to draw once you kind of establish those eyes and the proper placement on the face. Now, it takes a while to get the facial features sometimes, particularly the nose and the lips. You just want to get that really beautiful shape. So I find myself occasionally going back in a couple of times, erasing, redrawing, respacing between the nose and the lips. So far, so good, kind of. I think I got the lips where I want it. Now the nose is a little tricky, and I don't want to go super detailed with the facial features like the nose and lips. I just want to do like subtle lines in order to indicate that there's a nose and indicate that there's a lip. So I'm adding more strokes to detail out her hair and eyes, and basically prepping myself to add the skin color. So here I am adding the skin color using marker. I love using marker because it dries quickly and it allows you to apply the color in layers. I'll basically let this dry and then go back over it with the same color marker to add shadows, and adding those shadows creates depth and creates a really beautiful, more of like a three-dimensional appearance to your fashion illustration. So here, just adding more shadow to the face and body. Now I'm about to grab my Micron pen so I can detail in the strokes for her eyebrows. Look at those beautiful arches coming in. It's already starting to frame her face. This looks great so far. I am really pleased with how this illustration is turning out, considering that I haven't been like drawing for the last couple of weeks. So this is my way to kind of just dive back into it and draw whatever comes to my mind, and just kind of, you know, get that arm and hand moving and getting the flow going for these tutorials. Adding a little bit of eyeliner to her eyes and lashes to really make the eyes pop. This is looking good. I'm really proud of this so far, so I hope you guys like it too. Leave some comments about it. What do you guys think? Also too, just going back over with a little bit of the body color to really help establish and bring out those facial features. Here I'm also detailing out the hair, adding more strokes. To really help define the hairstyle. I'm just going back and adding those cute little wispy curls. Looks great. Her hair is healthy and shiny. She did it herself because she's not even going to the hair salon these days because, well, you know, Rona's outside waiting. Anyway, but she decided to do a safe and socially distanced brunch with her friends. I mean, she's looking cute. She's ready to go out. Look at her. So far, I'm really loving the way this is turning out. Now I'm just adding more detail to her earrings. Now I have to figure out what I'm going to do with her lip. I think I'm going to do a nice bright pop of red. But first, I'm going to line it with this dark fuchsia to define her lip shape. Now I'm going to go on with this bright orangey red. Oh, that looks really, really pretty. It's really making her face come out even more. She looks great. Okay, now adding more shadowing so our face can pop more. Shadows around the stomach and the arms. And just note, when you add shadowing, keep in mind that helps to also establish the direction of the light. So now I'm just adding more makeup details to her face, particularly around the lip, adding a little bit more color to make it pop, adding a little bit of blush to the cheeks, really bringing her face out, adding more shadow to make her face pop even more. So we're almost done with this illustration. If you haven't done so by now, please make sure you like and subscribe and even leave comments. I appreciate a good comment. Anyway, now we're layering on the ground color of her garment. Of course, I'm going to do some shadowing layers so you can see how this fabric drapes on her body, and also to indicate the drapes and gathers of the fabric and the puff sleeves. So as you can see, I'm adding in those shadows and highlighting those areas and just doing a couple of stylized lines to show where the fabric is gathering, to indicate the chest and to indicate that the leg is shifting forward. So now I'm adding my leopard print pattern. I was really inspired by my leopard print top, which you can kind of see a little bit of it in the bottom left corner of this video. So if you notice that the leopard print shape, it resembles a blobby or abstract letter C or G shape with dots around it. So just keep that in mind. If you like the leopard print pattern, take some time to maybe go study some leopard prints so you can really establish how you want to approach drawing that pattern. And also too, the leopard print pattern is often confused with the cheetah pattern, and they're two totally different patterns. So just make sure that you take some time and look at them both so you can know the differences between the two. So I'm going to continue adding the pattern to her top. I'm liking the way in which I'm drawing the leopard print pattern. It kind of has like an abstract feel to it, very stylized, and it ties back nicely to the way in which I drew the illustration. And of course, I'm just going back in and adding details where I see that I need to add extra style lines. Sometimes I kind of tilt my head back just to see what I need to add to the illustration to bring it together and go in the direction that I want it to go. And it's so far so good. Now just adding some more detail lines under the shirt. Now moving on to the skirt, establishing that waistband. Now I'm just continuing with the leopard print pattern, and I like to work from the top to the bottom and just filling it in as I go, trying to make the shapes in different directions. Again, if you notice, it's kind of like an abstract or loosely drawn C or G shape. And then you add the dots around it. And just taking my time here, adding in the last little bit of details for the pattern, working my way down, just finishing this up. I'm almost done. I'm really loving the way this is turning out. I can't wait to see the very finished product once I finish buttoning up these details. Okay, working my way in, making sure there's enough leopard print evenly distributed throughout the top and bottom. It's looking good so far. Yes, it's time to grab that Micron and just add a couple more stylized lines to finish up this illustration. We're almost done. Look at that, just boom, boom, adding those details. Time to just add some more shadow. I feel like I said shadow 50 times. Okay. okay, but this is what you have to do when you're drawing and trying to give a tutorial, whatever. Okay, so cleaning it out with my crusty eraser. Yes, I know it's definitely crusty, but it works great, so oh well. And time to sign, which means it's done. Looks great.